If you've ever had your students ask you why have ends with a final silent E and isn't have, and you've said, well, English is crazy, this video is for you. Because there is a reason, and when you know it, you'll be a better spelling teacher. My name is Anna Geiger. I'm the author of Reach All Readers and creator of the Reach All Readers course and podcast. Today, we're talking about final silent E, specifically what you as a teacher need to know about it and how to teach the VCE pattern to your students. Many of us learned one reason for the final silent E, and that is to use it with the VCE pattern. So when we have the VCE pattern, the final silent E makes the vowel say its name. For example, in the word cake, the E at the end makes the A say A. It's true that the VCE pattern is very important. It's one of the more complex spelling patterns that students will see early on in their reading. And that final E is used to indicate that the vowel spells its long sound. But if the VCE pattern is the only reason we know about for the final silent E, we're going to be telling our students that a whole lot of common words are exceptions, making them think spelling is a lot more confusing than it has to be. Let's start with give and have. Why aren't they give and have? Well, the reason for that final silent E is simply this. English words don't end in V, so that final E is there to keep those words from ending in an illegal letter. Once you know that, the words stop feeling weird. They follow a rule, just not the VCE one. What about the word chance? The vowel is short, not long. Why do we need that final silent E? It's because of the C. In English, most of the time, C spells its soft sound when it comes before the letters E, I, or Y. Without that final E, you'd have chank or chank. But with that final E, we have chance. The same logic applies to the word change. That final silent E lets the G say its soft sound, J. Without the E, we'd have change or chang. But that final E lets us say change. Let's think about the words house and purse. Why do those words have a final silent E? There isn't a long vowel in either one of those words. What's the point? Well, without the E, house is H-O-U-S. It looks like the plural of how, H-O-U. Same thing with purse. Without that E, the word looks like the plural of P-U-R, purr. So we use the E at the end of those words to keep them from looking like plural nouns. What about soothe and teeth? Why the final silent E in those words? The reason is because it shows us that the TH is being used to spell its voiced sound. Without the E, the words would look like soothe and teeth. Then we have words like bubble and table. Why the final silent E in those words? The reason is that every syllable needs a printed vowel. So the E supplies the printed vowel in the syllable bowl. What about the final silent E in the word or? Like in our family, the resource that you're getting to build cities when you play Settlers of Catan. Why isn't it simply spelled O-R, like the other or that we all know? One important reason is that it distinguishes O-R-E, the content word, from the function word O-R. Of course, because English spelling is not just about phonology, it's also about meaning, that E at the end is really important to distinguish between the meanings of those two words. So the VCE pattern is real and very important to teach, but it's one of at least 6 reasons for final silent E in English. When we know all of them, we stop telling our students that words like have, chance, and house are weird exceptions. They're not exceptions, they're following rules, just different ones. And that matters, because every time we're telling students that a word is an exception, we're training them to give up on understanding spelling. We're telling them the system is random and chaotic, and it's actually not. It's complex, not crazy. So how do you actually teach the silent E, as in the VCE pattern, to your students? Inside my membership, Reach All Readers Plus, we have a set of digital phonics lessons that help teachers explicitly teach phonics patterns to their students with a set of no-prep slides. Within our digital phonics lessons, we actually include the words for the teachers right on the slides, so they don't have to balance the lesson along with the slides that they're using with their students. Here's how our first lesson with CVCE words looks. Today, you will learn that words with a vowel consonant E pattern have a long vowel sound. This word is man. If I add an E at the end, we have a vowel consonant E pattern. The final E is silent, and the vowel spells its name, main. This word is plan. If I add an E at the end, we have a vowel consonant E pattern. The final E is silent, and the vowel spells its name, plain. This word is mad. If we add an E at the end, we have a vowel consonant E pattern. The final E is silent. The vowel spells its name, made. Blend with me. Say the sound of each letter when it turns to orange, and then blend all the sounds together to read the word. Op, hop. Ope, hope. And then we go through many more examples. After the blending, we do word chaining. Students get out their dry erase boards and teachers walk them through a lesson like this one. The first word is swim. I like to swim in the pool. Say the sounds of the word swim. Ready? S, w, I, m. How many lines should you draw? Yes, 4. Now let's write the letters that spell the sounds. Check your work. How'd you do? Let's read the word together. Swim. Now we'll change the word swim to slim. Slim is another word for thin. Point to the spelling you will change. Now write the new spelling. Check your work. How'd you do? Let's read the word together. Ready? Slim. Now we'll change the word slim to slime. I like playing with ooey gooey slime. How will we change the word slim to slime? Yes, we'll add a silent E to make the VCE pattern. Check your work. How'd you do? Let's read the word together. Slime. Now we'll change the word slime to lime. I like to use lime juice when I make tacos. Think about how you will change the word slime to lime. Make the change on your board. Check your work. How'd you do? Let's read the word together. Lime. Early on, we can also help our students see how that pattern can be in longer words. So for example, I would say, watch me read this longer word. First, I will underline the vowels. I consonant E counts as a single vowel. I'm going to cross out the final silent E because it's not spelling a sound. My next step is to divide the word so there's a vowel in each syllable. But I have to make sure that how I divide it makes sense. I might want to divide it here. Each syllable has a vowel, but then I'd have this D and M next to each other, and they don't go together when pronouncing a word. So I'll divide after the D. Now I'll read the syllables. Admire. That's almost a word. I can change the pronunciation to make a real word. Admire. To admire someone means to think someone is worth looking up to. Read the word with me. Admire. Let's try this word. First, I'll underline the vowels. Again, I'll cross out that E because I see the VCE pattern in the first part of the word. Now I'll divide the word so there's a vowel in each syllable. The word is homesick. Homesick. I know that word. It's when someone feels sad because they miss their home. Read the word with me. Homesick. Try this one with me. Write the letters on your dry erase board. Now, underline the vowels. Does your word look like this? We need to divide the word into 2 parts. Remember, each syllable must have a vowel. Let's divide between the consonants. Now read the parts with me. Umpire. Umpire. An umpire is the official at sports games who makes sure everyone follows the rules and plays fairly. So, in addition to explicitly teaching the pattern and blending words with that pattern, we also want to have students build words with that pattern and practice reading longer words that include the pattern. We can do more useful spelling practice activities like sound mapping and spelling dictation. If you want to go deeper on how to teach spelling so that students remember the spellings that you teach, you're invited to my workshop, Spelling Instruction That Sticks. We'll unpack what makes English spelling complex, not crazy, and completely teachable. You'll leave with tools that teach spelling to make sense. Check out the link below this video to register. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.